Hey everyone, it's Jelly Cards, and you're listening to the Jelly Cards podcast. We've been collecting since we were kids. Whether it's Pokemon cards or sports cards, being a collector at heart always comes first. You can listen to all our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And if you are enjoying these topics, please give us a rating and a follow on both Spotify and Apple, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, if you are ready, we are ready. Sit back, relax, and as always, keep spreading the love of the hobby from your friends at Jelly Cards. Hey man, Luke's back.
Yeah,
Luke is back, man.
Luke is back. It's good to have him back.
It is. It's great to have him back. It's great to have you back again, buying cards, man. Back into that hobby life. It's great to see Luke doing it too, because man, he's back on his WOTC kick. You know,
It's the best. I love it when he sends those cards.
he's buying energy cards, man.
Hell yeah. Damn
He
right.
sent that video. I'm like, this guy is really deep because he's just buying energies now. He don't even care what it is, what he's buying. He's just anything WOTC he wants. That's what I'm saying. Man, all those times that we were going to shops like Gamers World, Geek Toy Hut, and we were seeing like first edition WOTC packs, we should have bought every single one every time
Yep.
we saw them.
Absolutely. Without question.
Every time we saw them. Even if it was at sticker price, because I know Geek Toy Hut, shout out Geek Toy Hut, Arlington Heights. I know they had first edition fossil packs. They had first edition Team Rocket packs. They also had first edition either Gym Challenge or Gym Heroes. I can't remember. But I think they were priced around like $260 or something like that. I know the fossil one was like $260 or something. So at the time, I think it was a little pricier than they were selling on eBay. But still, we should have just bought them. Like that.
Did you
should have
ever
been a
ask
buy.
them where they got them from?
No. I mean, I know they obviously had a distributor for booster boxes, because I remember I had them. I was buying a Chilling Reign booster at the time, and they had a little display on their counter that had the booster boxes, but then they had the cases behind the counter. And they went to go get me a Chilling Reign from the display, and I went, "You got any full cases?" They're like, "Yeah, we do." And I was like, "Can I get one from the full case?" And they were like, "Yeah." And they ripped open the case and gave me a box out of that one.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I guess superstition. I guess like,
Yeah.
hey, like it could,
Man.
obviously this is like the last one of the other case that you open. Like, I could get a better hit. Didn't.
Wow. Yeah,
Didn't.
exactly. They're like, I hope this guy gets shit in this box. There's nothing in this box.
But
Making us open a brand new
always
case.
had packs though, man. And same with Gamers World. And Gamers World, I remember. Do you remember the full binders that they had?
Dude, yeah. That's right. Okay. That's why I asked if you knew where Geek Toy Hut got their vintage stuff, because this is going to be a Diglett's Dungeon plug, and I'm going to go on a little card story here. Gamers World in Schaumburg. This is all hypothetical, because I don't know if I'm going to get somebody in trouble. Gamers World in Schaumburg at Woodfield. There was a time when Danny and Ian and the Glizzy gang, as they like to call themselves, the Diglett Dungeon, that we went to Gamers World after the mall was closed, because I think either one of the managers or maybe even the owner of the shop was like letting us come in, rip packs, make deals, make trades, all that kind of stuff. And we went there, and I had asked him where they got their packs, and he said it was like some, I think they were called the Duck Family or something like that. Like basically a consignment situation where this person would just give all the Gamers World a bunch of their sealed vintage stuff, and you could go in there and you can buy them, like obviously unweighed, at the prices that they were listed at. And I was like, damn, I really wish that one day I could just meet these people and see what else they have, because I'm assuming they just had stacks of boxes and sealed packs and all that stuff from back in the 90s and early 2000s. And it was really awesome to go after hours because Danny had bought, this was, I'm sure he posted it. This was around, God, I don't even remember when it was, but he had bought the Neo Genesis, I think. I don't want to be wrong. It was either Neo Genesis or Neo Destiny Japanese pack. And in the pack that chases the Lugia. So we're just ripping packs. I think it was close to Danny's birthday. And we're getting to the holo. And everyone's like, here we go. Danny exposes the last card and it's the Lugia. And
Wow.
we're all just going crazy because
Well,
it was
our
such a
fossil
badass
pack
moment.
we bought from them, and we got a first edition Hollow Hunter.
Yep. Yeah.
So I mean, and I remember the day. I remember one of the times going into Gamers World. I can't remember if it was you or not that you asked them like where well, where do you get your product from? And they said I mean, I'm not sure if it's the same situation, but I remember them saying somewhere where they got them from somebody else, but they were a credible source. They knew they were
Exactly.
coming from factory sealed, or they were coming from sealed booster boxes. They knew they can tell, at least give you that satisfaction of like, hey, we're giving you something that's not repacked, resealed.
Right.
This is actually coming from the legit product.
Because that's always my fear, and like a
Yeah.
legitimate fear for everybody in the hobby. Because how do I
I
know
mean,
that this?
nowadays, how easy it is to do repacks and stuff. Yeah, I would again. That's why I would never buy off of eBay like that. I would only buy from a credible source and a credible store. And yeah, either the Gamers World or Geek Toy Hut would have been one of those shops. And we should have every
Yeah, man,
single
we should
time
have
we
every,
saw them. We should
yeah,
have.
without a doubt. And the binders
Yeah.
too. Like you said, they
Yep.
had like
The
this.
binders they had all the hollows. They had
Yeah.
every single hollow like in the from full sets.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I think one of the full set binders was like 5 grand.
Should have bought it.
Dumb,
Yeah.
dumb, dumb,
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
bunch of dumb dumbs. But we're not going to talk Pokemon today because that'll get us probably on too many rants. You made a Twitter post earlier on our Jelly Cards Twitter. You went to Target, a local Target, and you Shaw, and I can't
Matt
speak.
Shaw. He was
Yeah,
there.
Matt Shaw. And you saw that the shelves were completely full of sports cards, which I've been noticing that a lot too. I have been noticing when I've been going to Targets and Walmarts, man, it's pick of the litter, really. I mean, you can pick whatever you want. Mega boxes, blasters, fat packs, everything. Everything's on the shelves. Prism, I mean, Absolute, Bowman mega boxes, tops. The only thing that's not obviously on the shelves is Pokemon cards because I know a lot of um, stores like that you have to ask now. You made an interesting point. You made a comment on the post saying that like basically what happened, like why is all this product on the shelves, and I thought that was a great topic. I originally pitched you the idea of like, hey, let's talk baseball. We're getting to the yeah, the midway mark of the season. I said, let's talk some baseball. We can kind of go over some players markets, but then you sent that post to us, and I was like, I actually think that's a better idea to
Mm-hmm.
talk about because I was actually listening to a clip that was on Sports Card Nonsense's social media page. I think it was their Instagram the other day, and they were talking about our people getting priced out of the hobby. And I've said that
Yeah,
many
you've said that
times.
for
I have
like
said that
years.
numerous times on this podcast that I think we are getting to a point where people are getting priced out. And then they were talking about it, and now we see all this product on the shelves. And I think it's a great topic to talk about. But before we even get into that, because it's a lot that we're gonna go on, let's knock out show and tell before we get into it, because then we might go too far and then we have to cut. Go into show and tell. Let's see some cards, man, because you've been buying, I've been buying. I bought another card the other day, but obviously they haven't shipped it out yet. And I'm trying to wheel and deal on another one. So Duke
Okay.
Snyder, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
And that's what I was gonna say about Luke. Luke's entered collector mode, full collector mode.
Yeah, oh, big
He's
time.
just like, yeah, anything that's WTC, especially first edition, I'll buy it.
Yep.
Less than $5,
Yeah.
it's mine.
So do you want to go first? Or you want me?
I guess I'll go first because it's gonna take me some time to show my card because I'm gonna do a mail day,
Oh, yeah.
live
There we
mail
go.
day. Because I've been meaning to make more videos of my mail days because I just want to get us some more content. Probably going to cut myself right here. Just blood splattering all over the screen. But yeah, it's just things get freaking backed up. This card probably got delivered over a week ago, and I
And you're
still haven't
just
opened
opening
it.
it now? Oh man.
Yeah.
It would take me
Look
no
at this.
time to open
Okay,
this.
this is a nice opportunity to talk about packaging. Like, if you're gonna tape the entire package with tape, like, please, like, put somewhere where I can open this thing without damaging the card. And it's not even like Scotch tape; it's hardcore duct tape.
Hey, it's good packaging though. It's
It
secure.
is good packaging. It makes sure the card's safe.
Yeah.
Don't cut towards yourself. Another note for all the people out there. I'm doing it because I'm an idiot.
Again.
Yeah. Never cut towards yourself. And when my wife watches this podcast, which will probably be never, she'll be like, I told you so.
You should have let me go first while you were opening this damn package.
Look at that.
Hey, that's sweet Lucario.
There you go. That might be a little hint of what's to come.
Is it a Pokemon card?
Card.
Nice.
I think.
Who'd you buy it from?
Some seller from Minnesota. Dear God, man.
Hey, you know what?
Like
Shout out to that
saran
seller
wrap.
for some great packaging.
Okay. You're getting somewhere. Okay. Like I talked about on one of the other mail day posts that I made, it's gotten to the point where I don't even know what I'm opening. So this is like a nice little surprise. Okay. So this Pokemon card. I bought this card definitely a couple weeks ago when we did our Pokemon episode. And I bought it because of the pop count. So
the Ninetales?
No, it's not the Ninetales. Good guess though. Very good.
Did you get the Ninetales though?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is also from Obsidian Flames. PSA 10. Illustration rare Cleffa. So sweet. I love it. It's like out in like some watery tundra. And then it's got the shooting star in the back.
Yeah, it's a cool card.
It's really cool.
And what about it? Like, what about the card? Like, what about the pop count and everything? Why did you buy that one?
If I remember right, the pop count on this PSA 10 is around 2,000, which sounds like a lot. But the total graded is close to like 8,400, 8,500. Yeah. Okay. So it's got a PSA 10 pop percentage gem rate of about 25%.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe even less. Yeah. So that's my mail day / show and tell. Probably going to hold this card for who knows how long. At least a year.
At least 5 years.
Yep. At least 5 years. So it's going into my box. May not see the light of day for another 5 years. When we open up our shop, I'll put it in the showcase.
Hey man, I almost think that's like a rule of thumb for Pokemon. Whatever card you're buying right now, unless it's like the hit, like the chase out of that set, if you want to send them and get them graded, set them aside. Don't look at them again for 5 years.
So
how
cool.
they'll finish on it.
Yeah,
so
sick. It like goes across diagonally. All right, my bad. What do you got, Jason? Thank you for, I don't know, obliging me, if that's the right word. I'm like fumbling all my words now. And letting me open up my damn mail for 20 minutes.
So I pulled out 2 cards. They're just 2 PC cards of mine. So, you know, right when we got back into collecting cards, and especially when we formed Jelly, I was just grabbing up some cool PC cards that I wanted to have for my own collection. So the first one I'm going to show is my Evan Longoria rookie card. It's graded in SGC 98, so it's the old SGC label when they were out of 100. So it got a 98, which is a Gem Mint 10. It is the 2008 Upper Deck X card, but it is a rookie. I mean, honestly, I think I got this card for like $12.
Awesome.
Yeah. And, you know, Evan Longoria, as you know, John, Evan Longoria is one of my favorite baseball players of all time. He is the reason why the Tampa Bay Rays are my second favorite baseball team in the major leagues. Going back to 2008, that's how I found him out when I was watching the 2008 All-Star game. It was the 2000. I was watching the 2008 Home Run Derby. And, Evan Longoria was in it, and he came. You know, it was his turn to come up to bat, and I was like, "Whoa, Tampa Bay Ray!" Like, I was like, "Wow, that's really cool." Like to see one, in a Home Run Derby. And I was like, "I don't know who this person is." They were like, "He's a rookie and everything." He ended up only hitting 3, but he got some.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that year they went on to face off in the World Series. Yeah, that was my kick of why I became a Tampa Bay Rays fan. And then here it is, man.
Boy.
Here it is. There it is, man. The Matt Merton rookie.
That's the Matt Merton card?
That is the Matt Merton rookie. It's a BGS 9.5. Auto got a 10 from Upper Deck. Yeah, it's a 2003 Upper Deck Prospects Premier Autograph Matt Merton rookie card.
Man.
Graded a BGS 9.5. Like I said, the auto got a 10. Centering got a 10. Surface got a 10. Edges got a 9.5. And then the corners only got a 9. But I bought this one for I think 20 something dollars, maybe 23, 22, somewhere around there. And I don't even think I made an offer on it. I think I just bought it outright.
Have you looked up the pop count on that?
I did not.
Read me the serial number because now I want to know.
So yeah, 000 4268 43 8. There's probably a few of them because I do come across some of them still on eBay.
There's 22 9.5s out of 23 graded.
Any black labels?
0. No gold labels or black labels. Highest grade right there. There you go, Jason.
I guess I gotta buy some raw.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so I've talked about that many times before. Matt Merton is my all-time favorite Cubs player. I thought when he was on the Cubs, of course, his rookie year was the Boston Red Sox. But he played on the Cubs during or at least our heydays of the Cubs. Around 2007, 2008, 2009. When I know. Yeah, when we were the best team in the National League, and then we ended up getting swept twice in the playoffs, back-to-back years, once to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and then, of course, to the Los Angeles Dodgers when Manny Ramirez was a Dodger.
I remember Manny.
And the Arizona Diamondbacks year was Eric Burns was on there. And that's when I became a big Eric Burns fan, is because I remember watching that series, and I was just like, man, I mean, Eric Burns just 110%, no matter what.
All the time.
No matter what. I think it was first inning of the game, and he crushed one. Didn't go out, but it hit off the wall. But I'm like, oh, wow, I like this guy. I'm like, it's just the way he played, But yeah, Matt was one of my favorite Cubs of all time. And a great story about it, and then we can kind of get into the topics. So one of my birthdays, my grandparents gifted me a box. They gave me a box, this clothes box. So I knew it was automatically going to be some type of clothes. Opened up the box and folded nicely. All I saw was Matt Merton and then his number. And I went, oh my, I'm like, is this a Matt Merton jersey? And pulled it out. And it was the road jersey at the time, the gray one with the Chicago, in the arch, which is such an awesome road jersey. Yeah, and they gifted me a Matt Merton jersey. I actually got to wear it at a baseball game at when I went with my dad. And Matt Merton, we sat near right field, but we weren't in the outfield. We were off on the sideline.
Yeah.
And he played right field that day, so that was cool. And he went 2 for 3 that day with 2 doubles.
Dang.
So 2 doubles off the wall, not just gappers. Yeah, 2 doubles off the wall.
Dang.
Yeah, so that was, and I got to wear the jersey, that game and everything. I'm probably one of the only other person except for Matt that has the jersey. And personally, to me, I think he should have been an everyday player. I think he was good enough to be an everyday player, and he should have been. And his numbers at Wrigley are really good.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Cool card, Jason. Cool story too.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's the great part about, being able to reminisce about cards that you love collecting and players that, you want to collect. And it's so hard to not forget about the collecting part of the hobby, and that's kind of getting into what we wanted to talk about with you, talking about, showing those pictures of going to Target and seeing all those boxes on the shelves. The collector should be happy to go there and to be able to just say, hey, let me just go home and rip some packs. And that's how it used to be when the boxes were cheap, when blasters were actually $20.
$20.
I remember when I was buying opening day for $10. Opening day blaster boxes were $10. card sucked.
Yeah.
But it was just cool to open, you know what I mean? Like Big League Baseball, that's why I love opening up Big League Baseball, because it's cheap and it's fun to just open up some cards. But nowadays, I mean, yeah, you go and you see it all on the shelves, and I love the responses that we got on that post, because everyone was like, it's all expensive. Every box has gone up. And then it's nothing but insert crap. There's no hits. You're not guaranteed hits anymore in these boxes, and half the boxes is inserts, or it's just nothing but
Insert and base. Yep.
nothing but inserts and base. You're not guaranteed any hits. You used to be in Big League Baseball, used to be guaranteed one auto per hobby box. You're not even guaranteed an auto anymore. Why
How
did you
sad
have
is
to
that?
take that away? Why'd you have to take that away? You're talking about a $40 hobby box that you could have pulled an auto from. You know what I mean? But I personally think, and I want to get your opinion on, well, let's get your opinion first. So why did you make the post? Why did you make the comment that you had?
Yeah. So I posted it today. Today's July 2nd. I went to Target with my wife, and every time I go, I always just go glance at the card section. And I went to the card section at our Target. I noticed that all of the shelves were stocked with sports cards. There were Bowman Mega Boxes. There were Bowman Blasters, Top Series 2 Blasters.
Tons of Boba Megas, man.
There was Prism Basketball. There was like Prestige Football, I think. There were some Contenders. There was some Prism Soccer.
Remember
all
when
the
we used
sports
to buy
cards.
Prestige?
Yeah. Of course I do, man. You want me to go into my freaking Joe Burrow auto story? So, yeah, I took a photo of it and I posted it on Twitter. Now, and like you said, my caption was "What happened in retail?" And shout out to Cards Purchaser at Cards Purchaser on Twitter or X. He like retweets a lot of stuff. Basically, he's one of the top cards accounts on Twitter, so he retweeted it, and I think that's how we got a lot of coverage on it. And yeah, I posted it because I'm gonna go on a rant, but I'm really happy that I'm seeing all this product on the shelf. Mostly because of the price. Because everybody who replied to it, mostly everybody, some people had some points that I think we should talk about too. Most people were like, I'm not going to pay $50 for a mega box, and I'm not going to pay $40 for a blaster box, knowing that I'll quote the person later, knowing that most of the time I'm not going to get anything. And I'm happy about it. I feel like if we could go back and clip some episode, we talked about it before. It's gotten to the point where I want people to see the stuff on the shelves, the sports cards at retail, and just leave them, just so that the card companies can get some sort of glimpse into what they're doing. Like, hey, maybe we are pricing these a little bit too high, and maybe, God willing, with some miracle, they'll start lowering prices. And that's why I posted it, because, like you said earlier, Jason, there was a time where if I went to Target and I saw Bowman Mega Boxes, I'd buy like at least 4 for me to rip, not for me to resell, not for me to run a break with, not for me to keep sealed forever, even though like sometimes I do buy some Bowman Mega Boxes to open up in a couple of years. But yeah, just for me to rip. And I posted on our thread, I used to buy them because I love collecting first Bowmans. I love the Mega Box refractors. That's what Jelly started with, and now I'm addicted to them. And if I could get a Mega Box for $30 or less, is what they were retail when we started, hell yeah, I'll do it. 10 Mega Box refractors for $30, I'll pay it. And you can get numbered cards, you can get autos out of them. But it feels like recently hits are getting worse. They're printing cards way more. Prices keep
Values
going up.
going down.
Yep. So why on earth would I spend my money, my hard-earned money, on some freaking expensive cards? And my last thing I'll say before I swing it over to you, and I want to get your opinion. I had replied to somebody, and I will read it verbatim. So at TKO Cards, one of the early replies, he or she said they raised prices, diluted the product, plus you lose your ass 99 out of 100 times ripping retail. And my reply to that was, quote, exactly. Feel like the prices are starting to ruin the fun. Can't rip open some packs without feeling like you were robbed. And that's what it feels like. And that's where I'm at, man. I don't Like, nobody here wants to be swindled. Nobody here wants to be hustled. Nobody wants to sell a card for $20 and find out later that it's $100. Nobody wants to buy a card for $1,000 and find out later that it's like $40. And that's what it feels like to me, opening up retail or trying to open up retail. So yeah, that's why I posted it. And it's fun to kind of get the general consensus from the hobby community and how they feel. But go ahead, Jason. I know that this might be a price people out of the hobby rant /
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
stealing our stuff again from the Jelly Cards podcast rant. But how do
Yeah,
you feel about it? Do you still check the retail section? Do you still go?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Every time. There is not a chance that I will go to a Target or a Walmart and I will not go to the card section. I do it every time, and I always go and look, and I just see like what's and typically every time it's what like how you posted those pictures. Shelves are completely full. I mean, like I said, it is really the pick of the litter. Whatever you want. Back if that was 2020, 2021, that's like
Yeah.
you just hit the mother load.
Yeah.
You're buying I would be buying at least 4 of those Bowman mega boxes easily. Easily. I would be buying whatever mega boxes I can get my hands on, because back then that was good because you could still get decent pulls out of them. But I don't even think it's really that maybe they're not diluting like the sets or like those boxes. The value's gone down. Base rookie cards don't matter anymore. Base refractors, first Bowman refractors don't really matter anymore unless the players, this freak athlete, in the sport. The mega box refractors don't matter anymore. There's no value. Even now, like it's getting to a point where I remember, X fractors from Topps Chrome used to be awesome to pull.
Those are awesome.
Don't matter. The price of what the card is going to be worth versus how much you're spending on the box, like that person said, you're gonna lose 99 out of 100 times because you're just not. There was a post I saw that it was funny because they posted some like person like dancing in the video, but it was like me pulling a $50 card and then in parentheses, but the box costs $400.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's how it is now. And that is how the hobby is. And I think that is why you are seeing all of this product on the shelves, because people already know, what am I going to get from a blaster box now? What am I pulling? A pink refractor? What is a pink refractor going to do for me when I have to spend $30 on this blaster? Or 40, depending probably on the set. Mega boxes, $55. Some of them are $65 for a mega box.
Mhm.
Those used to be $30 boxes.
There was a time they used to be 20.
So why would I buy it? Why am I going to buy a $65 Prism Mega Box when my best card is going to be a silver Prism of some, defensive lineman that's going to be worth like $1.50? There's no point in buying these boxes anymore. And that's why I'm saying we are getting priced out, because the stuff that is available to the average collector is not worth spending anymore. And now I'm going to lose more money trying to buy into it. Yes, it's fun. Like Eric says, it's just fun to open. But when you are operating a business, that's a bad move. If you're going and saying, "Oh, let's buy up these hanger boxes. Let's buy up all this product and rip and try to see if we can pull anything that's going to be worth money," we're probably going to lose more money than we're going to gain. Now granted, you do see videos of people pulling case hits out of, or 101s and stuff, but how many times does that happen?
Yeah, right. How many boxes do you have to open?
Exactly. So it's getting to a point where, yes, we are getting priced out of the hobby. And I think what, I think a good example of is what happened at Fanatics Fest. And if you watch any videos of like King of Cards, I was watching a King of Cards video before we started this podcast. Every single deal he made was in the thousands. Every single one. Now, granted, some of them he was buying multiple cards, like maybe he was buying two to four cards at a time, but every single deal was, 2,500, 3,600, 7K, every single deal. That is where the hobby is now. and I want to get to this because I told you, I said, hey, maybe we should talk about the Panini royalty
Yeah,
box
royalty box or something.
that just got released on the 30th. Now I'm gonna read this off to you about because you said you didn't know much about it. So this is a box that's for a WNBA. It's a 20. This will piss Luke off. It's 2025, but it's a 2024 box
Yeah,
with 2024 rookie cards in it. Okay,
right. Yeah,
so it's gonna piss Luke off
I'm
because
already pissed.
it's well into 2025. So the 2024 Panini Rookie Royalty WNBA box takes the high-powered stars of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and puts them on some of the highest-powered brands in the Panini stable of products. So basically, what this is they're giving the WNBA players, so the top talent in the WNBA, they're giving them NT cards, they're giving them flawless, they're giving them immaculate, and they're now also giving them downtowns and kabooms, and they put it all into one box. Get this. There's, I think, so it's going to be Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And then I think there's 12 other WWE, I was going to say WWE, WNBA talent, like Cameron Brink is in it as well.
Yeah. Yep.
But all the autos are just Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. That's it. It is one pack a box. There's 2 cards in the pack. One of the cards you'll get either a downtown or a kaboom. The other card will be basically an on-card auto of either Angel Reese and Caitlin. This box, I believe they were selling for $3,000. You are buying a box for $3,000 for 2 cards.
2 cards, man.
2 cards, man. Yep. So so it says there are only 2 cards per box, but one will be a Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese hard signed autograph, and then the other will be a downtown or kaboom insert of one of the top 12 WNBA talents. And it's going to include RPAs of flawless, national treasures, immaculate, including 101 WNBA logo RPAs.
There it is.
Yep. Tell me we're not getting priced out of the hobby without telling me that we're getting priced out of the hobby. You know what I mean? So what do you think of that? Like, what do you think about that box? Is it wrong of Panini to do it? No. They're about to lose the license to everything, so why not go big? Should the WNBA talent get cards like that? Absolutely. Is Caitlin Clark probably a top 3, probably one of the top 3 best athletes to buy into cards right now? 100%. So $3,000 box, 1 pack, 2 cards.
I hate it, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I hate it so much. Okay, so first of all, I like what you said at the end there about like WNBA exposure. Awesome. Caitlin Clark auto, amazing. Like getting these girls some incredible cards, license cards in any sort of product. Love it. However, the price and the essentially hardcore gambling associated with spending $3,000 on a box of 2 cards, I hate that a lot. I have no interest in spending $3,000 on a random box. I don't know who else is in the set. I honestly don't even care. Caitlin Clark, like you said, ideally is the best card you can get from any box.
In my opinion, there's only 3 players worth actually pulling. That's Caitlin Clark, obviously Angel Reese. I don't even think Angel Reese is that big of a card to pull. I think Cameron Brink is better than her.
Cameron Brink, Sabrina Ionescu, and damn, I just had that other girl's name in the back of my head. Aaliyah Boston, I think is her last name. Aaliyah Boston. And who else just got drafted? Oh, Paige Buchers. I'm assuming that those people are in there.
Paige is not because she just got drafted. Who were the other 2 that you said?
Sabrina Ionescu. Dang, it's all like just Caitlin's
it's all
class?
From it's all Caitlin's class.
Okay, then I'm
because
even
it's
less
2024.
interested.
Yeah, it's 2024.
That's sad. Okay, that makes me upset. I'm even less interested. I thought it was like the best players in the WNBA. I thought it was something like that. If it's just Caitlin, Angel Reese, and then Cameron Brink, and then the other rookies of the class, that pisses me off. Now I have a reason to be even more angry. If you want to get those other girls exposure and get their cards like out into the world, into the hands of people who are going to grow up and watch the WNBA, like kids and like young women and young girls out there who want to be WNBA superstars, you need to put these amazing hits in more affordable boxes so that they can open the packs and fall in love with collecting and fall in love with the WNBA. So that makes me even angrier, knowing that it's basically just Caitlin, Angel, and Cameron is what everyone's going to be chasing. And if they get any of the other,
And realistically, it's just Caitlin.
yeah, and if they get anyone else, they're going to be upset because they spent $3,000.
How do you feel about the box? Basically, any of the hard signed autos. How do you feel about Panini just giving those two to Caitlin and Angel Reese?
I hate it. Why don't the other girls have autos? They don't have contracts with Panini.
Why didn't you just make a box dedicated to Caitlin?
Right. Like the Wemby.
Like how Topps did with Wemby. Yeah, Topps Mercury.
Exactly.
And I'm assuming that's coming once Topps gets the license. I'm assuming that Caitlin Clark box is coming.
Well, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, man, I hate it. I have no interest in buying it. I hope if anybody does buy it, I hope you hit the 1 of 1 and then you could sell it and make a lot of money. But I wouldn't recommend buying it unless you could afford it. I can barely, like, if I had $3,000 to spend in the hobby and I could buy, if I was forced to buy boxes, I would buy more boxes so I can rip more packs. Why would I want to buy a $3,000 box? I get 2 cards and I'm either going to have an extreme high or an extreme low. And that's what I was talking about with the gambling part of it. Like opening packs, being involved in the hobby in general is a big risk. You're essentially investing your money into something, hoping that it'll go up, and you have a risk that it'll go down. It's like gambling. If you put a bet that the Indiana Fever are going to win their WNBA championship and you lose, same situation. Like you have an extreme high or you have an extreme low. And either way, it involves money. So I'm mad, man. I'm upset. I can't even think of what price point I would be interested. Maybe like $200. If like, I don't know, $100.
Maybe 5, 6,
Yeah,
600.
exactly.
Not 3,000.
$3,000. That's like a month's. That's a mortgage. That's a month's rent right there for a lot of people. Maybe 2 months. So man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What are you feeling, Jason? I thanks for bringing it up because now I'm just back into my depressed mode.
I mean, it's what the hobby is doing nowadays. Like that's the hobby now, and that's the unfortunate part. As this hobby continues to grow, we're seeing more and more money that's being flashed in this hobby. I mean, it's happening everywhere. Box prices are going up. Card prices are going up for certain cards. There's only certain cards in the hobby now that are valuable. And unless you're pulling 101s or out of 5 autos, you're probably not making much money in this hobby. Like how many first Bowman Mega Box Mojo refractors can you buy to operate a business? You can't operate a business on those anymore. You used to be able to, back in the days when, Wander Franco was, before he became an idiot, when his Mojo refractors were almost like $400. And yeah, you could make some good change on it. Now you can't buy those anymore. They're not worth anything. So the problem is that this is the hobby now. $3,000 for a box with 1 pack and 2 cards. That's what people want. People are willing to spend, on boxes of like NT and stuff. Because they know, well, if I'm gonna try, if I want to pull a $500,000 card, if I want to pull a 6-figure card or a 7-figure card, that's where you need to go. And here's the thing, I can't afford that.
Exactly.
Or I can, but it would be very dumb of me to do.
Right.
Because if I lose, I'm fucking myself over.
Yeah. Big time.
Like, so
it's a huge hole you dig yourself out of.
Yeah. And that's why I said, like, the way deals are being made and the amount of money that you're seeing these influencers spend. Now, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying like King of Cards is a bad person or he's bad for the hobby. He's great for the hobby. He is so hobby driven. He's so, he loves all his fans. He's great with all the kids that come up to him. Like he does it right. He has the means to be able to make these deals. But the problem is that but a lot of people do look up to him. A lot of people do look up to him, look up to Roth cards, look up to Jeff, and they see the amount of money that they're spending, and instantly you go, well, I have to do that. I want to be them. But they have the means, they have built themselves up to the point where they can do that. They can, they can, safely be able to spend that amount of money, and they have the following for it. We don't have that same following that King of Cards has. You
Yet.
know, yeah, yeah, of course. I can't wait for the day that we're able to be at Fanatics Fest at a table, at our own table, and people coming up and wanting to take pictures with us. Or people want to sell us their cards. Like, hey, do you want to buy this card? And we're dealing nothing but 4-figure, amounts here. But it's just, that's the way the hobby is now. So, I mean,
I
do
think
you feel as if we're like people are getting like? Do you think it's now? Because I remember I used to say it all the time, and that was before Fanatics really started getting into the hobby. Now Fanatics is fully into it. Now, do you kind of see where I'm coming from? Where I say I think we're getting priced out.
I see where you're coming from. And so there's a lot to go over here.
I
Are we
know I'm
getting
ranting.
No,
ranting,
it's
man.
good. It's fine. Are we getting priced out? I think it's a tough way to look at it. I don't think so. I don't think that people who are in the hobby to be collectors are going to go anywhere.
You really don't think we're getting priced out? Like with what's happening?
Well, okay, like I said
Look
before.
how much look at like how we are operating now as Jelly, and
Mhm.
the cards that we have been buying and the amounts that we have been spending.
Exactly.
We weren't doing that back in 2020. Now it's like now we feel as if we have to because we have to keep up with the demand of the hobby.
Exactly. So, first of all, damn, I got so much to cover. Are we getting priced out? No. My reasoning for that, if let's say somebody's out there and their annual cards budget is $1,000, there's plenty of other people out there who have that same budget. So your goal should be to buy up $1,000 worth of cards and turn that into 1,300.
2000.
Yeah, 2,000 is amazing. If you turn it into 1,300, you made 30% profit. You need to turn that 1,300 into, let's do 13 times 3, 390. You need to turn 1,300 into 1,690. So you need to basically build yourself up to the level of King of Cards, to the level of Card Collector 2, to the level of Jeff, and essentially grind your way into the point where you are dealing with these high-end people in the hobby. So, like I tried to explain to you guys before, I think that there are tiers. There are tiers of people in the hobby. And like I also said before, I hate using the word unfortunately, but let's just say that the majority of people that you see on YouTube and all over social media are that upper tier. You don't see Card Collector 2, I'm going to give Card Collector 2 credit because I know that he's been doing it a long time. He's been doing content a really long time. And he's probably got some old videos out there of him making like $100 deals or $200 deals that show. But anyway.
He was a value box guy.
Yeah,
like he's
exactly.
still, and I think he still is.
Yeah.
Same with
So,
Mojo. Mojo
yeah,
was the same
Mojo
way.
Sports.
Mojo was, big on buying a whole shoebox.
Yeah, my point is you need to see the whole journey. And I wish that they made more videos like that. Like, it's not like King of Cards woke up and he had 50K worth of cards in his collection. It's not. Maybe Jeff did. Maybe Jeff had just built up a huge collection. He started to start selling it.
Jeff
and
was
build the hobby.
fortunate, Jeff was fortunate because he grinded outside of the hobby that
Yes,
allowed
to get
him
the
to
money.
be able to do what he did now.
Yeah, so that's my point. It's like there are many tiers to the hobby, and I feel like the top tier people who spend 5 to 6 figures, God, 7 figures at shows are like, I don't know, 5% of the hobby, maybe the top 10% if I'm being generous. And then the other 90%, in my opinion, are people who can spend like $1,000 a year, $5,000 a year, maybe $10,000 a year on buying cards. And there's going to be cards out there forever that are going to be worth $50 that can turn into $70. $200 card can become a $1,000 card. like stuff like that. It's just finding the right cards, and we love collecting enough, and we love opening packs and buying cards and selling them enough that, like you said beautifully, one day we could get to the level that King of Cards is at. We could get to the level where that Roth Cards is at, where we're selling cards to freaking NFL owners. And yeah, man, it just takes time. I think it's something that we haven't really talked about, and we should. The hobby currently is like booming. I feel like maybe people will say, and we can say that we feel like we're getting priced out, but honestly, man, there's so many cards out there now that you can buy and flip, especially Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards are freaking insane. Sports cards are insane. People are spending that. I hate to bring it up, but the Brewers pitcher that we sold, the Mizorowski, his blue auto in a PSA 10 now is worth like $2,500. There's no reason that a blue auto of a pitcher who's pitched 4 games in the MLB should be $2,500.
Especially when Lindor just took him yard.
And that's the state of the hobby. So like we can complain about it. We can talk about it. Like,
which is funny because, it actually is funny, and sorry to cut you off, but you're talking about him, and he's played he's pitched 4 games into the league. But then you look at somebody like Pete Alonso, who's been doing this for a long time, and you look at his Topps Chrome rookie auto PSA 10, $200.
So I mean, man, like
You're telling me you'd much rather have the guy who pitched 4 games in the majors versus the dude who
people know how they do,
like who should be in the MVP race?
And that's what, like, if we're trying to see big picture here, King of Cards, Roth Cards, Card Collector 2, Jeff, you name them, those people are creating exposure, and that starts bringing in people with a lot of money because they see all this money that's being flung around. They're like, yeah, what? I'll pay $2,000 for this blue auto. I don't care. It's nothing to me. That's nothing to me. Should the card be worth that? No, but people have money, man. People want to spend it, and they'll spend it on whatever the hell they want. And that's the beauty of the hobby. That's the beauty of the hobby growing, in my opinion. Yeah. All right. Will this Cleffa be worth $1,000 one day? Maybe.
Yes.
Because one of these kids who grew up loving Cleffa and loving collecting, opening up freaking Obsidian Flames is like, hey, I want a Cleffa. I make $1 million a year. Sure. I don't care who's bidding up. I'll spend $2,000 on it. So yeah, man, I hate saying we're getting priced out. I definitely see the sentiment and I feel it, because when it comes to retail, there is absolutely no reason that those retail boxes should be that high. And that's what pisses me off the most. I'm not like all the influencers and stuff. They shouldn't, like, they don't piss me off. It sucks seeing it because it's just, I don't, like you said, I don't want people to get that in their head. Like I need to be going to shows and I need to be flipping $10,000 cards for $20,000 cards. The retail stuff, that pisses me off the most. There's absolutely no reason that Fanatics, who is a multi-billion-dollar company, should be influencing Topps or whatever the hell they're doing with Topps to sell a Bowman Mega Box for over $50. That's total bullshit to me.
One thing that I would actually love most that I wish that they would do, especially people like King of Cards, like Mojo, Card Collector 2, Roth Cards, I would like to see where the money comes from.
Right.
You know what I see? I would like to see the kind of like give us like a behind the scenes look of how you operate your brand, your business. How long do you hold cards for? How much are you spending, per month? How much do you allocate yourself per year? How long do you hold these cards for? I want to see that entire process, because it just, to me, it looks, when you watch these videos, it looks like you just have an infinite supply of money.
Right.
And, you're just, I mean, obviously Roth Cards is set. They just sold the card for $500,000. But I mean, I want to see all of that, because if I'm going to sit here and I'm going to compare myself to you, or sit here and say like, okay, I feel as if that's what we need to start doing, or like, hey, we need to start focusing on, Jaden, we need to be buying, Michael Jordan cards, or we need to be buying LeBron, Tom Brady, all of these, chase cards in the hobby. Well, then I want to see how you operate, not just you going to a show and you're dropping 75 $7,500 on a deal. Like, I need to know the breakdown. I want to see the behind the scenes. I want to see how you operate.
I don't think we're gonna get that. I
No,
think
we
it'd be
won't.
fun to
We
meet
won't
them
ever
and
get
talk
that.
about it.
Exactly. I would love, honestly, I would love to get one of them on the show. Like, either Roth Cards on the show, King of Cards on the show, Mojo, Card Collector 2, any one of them, Jeff. And
Yeah,
let's see, like, I would love to talk to them about their day to day, like how you
right.
approach it. And we can end on this, and I want to get your opinion real quick. Do you think nowadays in the hobby, like the current hobby right now, do you think you can solely operate a business just by buying and selling cards?
What do you mean? What else is there to do?
Like, do you think that you need that social media like aspect of it too, of a business? Like,
Great question. Do I need the social media part of it? Um,
in my opinion, you do. Like, in my opinion,
yeah,
I don't think you can just buy and sell cards anymore. I think you need that because I think there's so many different avenues that you can go down. There's so many different doors you can open. I mean, King of Cards now he advertises coupons and percentages off with PSA now. So
nice.
he's got a partnership now with PSA.
Yeah. Okay. So if you if there's definitely no harm in doing it. Like I feel like if you there's no unless you post something bad, man, unless you get into the wrong side of any side of like who knows, political topic or some BS. Like if you get a little bit too not hobby friendly, I'll say. Like if you're making shitty deals, then it's gonna screw you over big time. So but in general, if you're gonna be on social media and be active, anybody who's involved in the hobby, Topps, Fanatics, Panini, PSA, Beckett, SGC, they see that you have a following, and to them, that's a marketing opportunity, and they'll reach out and they'll be like, hey, will you promote our product on your page? We'll give you a kickback. And that's how it works. So, do I think you could do it without social media? I'm going to go with yes, but I feel like you need it's got to be the top people in the hobby. Like if I had a 52 mantle and I I don't know, PSA 7 or something, and I sold it, nobody's going to know it was me. I could buy more super expensive cards, sell them, nobody's going to know it's me. So I think that'd be pretty cool. I wish I could get to that level where it's like, who's buying these damn Jordans? Who the hell is selling all these Mickey Mantles? It's just going to be me. And then one day, Jeff or Ken Golden or somebody to track me down, be like, hey, are you blah, blah, blah? Are you I.Jelly Cards? Yeah, that's me. What's up? Can we interview you? Nah, get out. But yeah, that's just me being goofy now. But if you want to grow in the hobby and become I don't know, known everyday hobby person and make hobby your business, yes, I think you need social media without a doubt, especially like young quote unquote collectors in the hobby. You need to grow your social media page. You need to have good videos, all that stuff. And man, now you got me thinking about the national. We need to do more vlogs. Basically, we need to
I
do
was thinking
more.
about that today, man. I might have such FOMO. Like, I don't text me about it. Don't tell me about it. I don't want to see any pictures. I'm not going to watch any videos. I'm going to have such FOMO about the fact that I can't be at the national.
Figure it out, man. Get it together. You got to
Yeah.
show up for at least a day,
Yeah, I
just so we can make some content.
yeah, well, and that's what upsets me is because I'm like, that's what I look every single time I go to Costco. Obviously, they have like those, kind of really nice high-end cameras and stuff, and I always look and go, we should buy one. Like, we should get one, and we should really, really get into like making content and making videos and doing stuff like that because I truly think that's really what's gonna like help the business and take it off. And I just don't think nowadays, I don't think in the current hobby, except unless like what you were saying, unless you have 52 tops manuals and, Honus Wagner cards and, LeBron rookies, like Brady rookies, you need some other type of form of income, like
Exposure.
exposure and money coming in. Like, you can't just be buying and selling. And like, we're not doing breaks on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Like there's no other, like we need something else. And that's again, that's just, we can end on that. And that's what I'm saying. I just think like, I think we're getting priced out. I think a lot of people, if you're not doing this, you're just not going to be successful. And it's sad, and it's really
That's
sad.
very
But I
sad.
just think, the day and age that we live in right now, which is so social media driven, it's so money driven. It's just, you gotta be grinding more than just the basics of what it takes. Like you have to do more. So that's just me. But you can wrap it up.
Final thoughts. So, like, I hate that I feel like this was a sad episode. I don't want it to be a sad episode. And I don't want it to come across that we're like complaining about the hobby. But so to wrap up slash final thoughts, we started the podcast talking about my wife and I went to Target today, July 2nd. I took a photo of the card section, and every sports card was on the shelf. To give a shout out to the people that replied to my post on Twitter. One guy mentioned, we should probably talk about it in the next episode. One guy mentioned that, like, at True Blue Packer fan. Packer fan. His reply was, come look at the shelves in my area. Haven't seen a blaster or mega of Optic this year. Yet to see select football either. He said that, and my response was, fair point. Usually Prism and select football are bought out every time, but there have been a few times I found some leftover hangers of Prism. However, are those sets worth the price of retail though? So that's where I'm getting at here. So we started the podcast talking about retail, how basically any card product that you want to buy and rip is extremely expensive. It is illogically expensive. The price of cards is getting ridiculous, and we kind of tied that into people getting quote unquote bought out of the hobby. Do you feel that the cards world is going to be strictly for the people who can afford to spend thousands of dollars on sports cards? Do you think that eventually, when you go to the National or you go to any sort of card show, the cards you see in those cases are just going to start getting out of your price range? And I would love to hear everybody's thoughts on that. You can reach out to us on social media. I made that post on X at Jelly Cards. You can go reply to it if you want. On Instagram, it's at Jelly Cards. On YouTube, it's at Jelly Cards. Please, I would love to have that discussion. If you're out there and you're spending this kind of money, I want to hear that too. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear how you grind through it, how you spend $10K at a card show and what you do with those cards and how you flip them and make more money to keep going. If you're spending $100 at a card show and you're still flipping them to make money, I want to hear those stories too, because that's what we at Jelly Cards are trying to do essentially. We want to make cards our life. And I think what Jason's point is that you see people on social media, on YouTube, on any sort of platform, and the most views are usually given to people who are spending 20 grand, 10 grand at a card show. And we can't afford to do that yet. Maybe one day we will. And it could get really discouraging. So anyway, I feel like now I'm starting to rant here at the end. Thank you everybody for listening. Follow the Jelly Cards podcast on both Apple and Spotify. Everything that we talk about is from like a sincere love of the hobby. We are collectors. The reason that we're so pissed off about these prices is because I used to go to Target, I used to go to Walmart, and I would just buy any Bowman Mega Box I saw, like as many as I could afford. And at the time, it was like maybe 4 or 5. I could buy 5 Bowman Mega Boxes based on like, I don't know, my weekly payment from work, and I can go home, I could rip them and have fun. But now it feels like the fun is leaving the hobby. And I feel like that's something that we should kind of switch it to. I don't think we're getting priced out. I think that the fun of the hobby is becoming less prominent. So anyway, reach out to us.
Becoming a business now, man.
Yeah, man, that's all it is. It's like it's becoming a business. Everything is money driven. It's not collecting driven. It's not fun driven. Everyone just wants to make a lot of money really fast. So anyway, follow the socials, follow the Jelly Cards podcast. If you enjoy the topics we talk about, please, please, please give us a rating on both Apple and Spotify. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the podcast on the YouTube channel. That would really make my day, really make Jason's day. All of us at Jelly Cards, it would make our day. And yeah, thanks, Jason. I didn't mention the freaking Panini Majestic Honors Who the Hell Knows set that they're coming out with. I didn't mention that, but if you're buying into that, hell, let us know. Let's talk about it. Thank you, everyone. And as always, keep spreading the love of the hobby. Jason, from your friends at Jelly Cards.